The episode began with cheerful energy, Jenna Hager and her co-hosts laughing with the audience as they introduced Carrie Underwood, one of country music's biggest superstars. Carrie walked onto the set looking radiant, dressed in a sparkling silver blazer that shimmered under the lights. The audience erupted in applause, expecting an easygoing conversation about her latest tour and new single. But from the very start, there was an edge in Carrie's demeanor, as though she sensed the interview would not go the way she had envisioned. When Jenna joked about Carrie's famously strict lifestyle routines, including her no-nonsense workout regimen, Carrie's polite smile didn't quite reach her eyes, a subtle signal of the tension that was about to unfold. At first, the chat seemed harmless. Jenna praised Carrie's consistency in balancing her music career with her role as a mother, and Carrie responded graciously, though noticeably guarded. But then the conversation turned to Carrie's decision to step back from certain high-profile events in Nashville recently, a topic Carrie clearly wasn't comfortable with. Jenna pushed lightly, suggesting fans were curious if Carrie was retreating from the spotlight, and Carrie's expression hardened. "I wouldn't call it retreating," Carrie said firmly, her tone clipped. "It's called choosing where I want to be and how I want to spend my time." The audience chuckled awkwardly, sensing the sudden shift. Instead of steering the conversation back to safer territory, Jenna pressed further, mentioning rumors swirling online about Carrie being difficult to work with on certain collaborations. The crowd gasped audibly, and Carrie's composure visibly cracked. She leaned forward, her eyes narrowing. "Rumors don't make truth, Jenna. I've worked hard my whole life, and I don't owe explanations to gossip blogs." The applause signaled support from the live audience, but the tone of the exchange had officially turned confrontational. Jenna, realizing she had struck a nerve, attempted to soften her words, but Carrie's patience was slipping fast. As the tension escalated, one of the co-hosts attempted to jump in with a lighter question about Carrie's recent fitness app release, but Carrie brushed it off with a curt response. Instead, she addressed Jenna directly. "Do you know what it feels like to constantly have people trying to chip away at what you've built? I don't think you do." The atmosphere in the studio grew heavy, the kind of silence that electrifies live TV. Viewers at home immediately began tweeting clips, noting how Carrie's voice trembled not with sadness, but with fiery frustration. Jenna, caught between her duty as a host and her instinct to defend herself, attempted to reclaim control. "Carrie, I wasn't trying to attack you. We love you here. We just want to give viewers an honest picture." Carrie shook her head, visibly fuming now. "Honest or sensational? There's a difference." The audience erupted in applause again, seemingly siding with Carrie. That reaction made the confrontation even sharper, as Jenna's face reddened slightly under the studio lights. The back and forth reached its breaking point when Jenna mentioned how some critics said Carrie's public image felt too perfect to be real. That was the final straw. Carrie stood up abruptly, removing her microphone as gasps filled the studio. "I'm not here to defend myself against petty criticisms. I came to talk about music, not to be picked apart." Her voice carried a mix of hurt and fury, and the crowd, stunned, quickly broke into applause and shouts of support. Jenna scrambled to keep the situation under control, pleading, "Carrie, please, let's not end it like this." But Carrie was already walking off the set, her heels clicking sharply against the studio floor as cameras tried to follow her exit. Production staff rushed to cut to commercial, but not before millions of viewers saw Carrie storm off in real time. The clip instantly began circulating across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with captions like, "Carrie versus Jenna, the clash no one saw coming." Backstage reports later revealed that producers begged Carrie to return after the break, but she refused, allegedly telling staff, "I won't sit back down just to be ambushed." Sources close to Carrie claimed she felt blindsided by the line of questioning, insisting she was only promised light-hearted topics. Meanwhile, Jenna's camp argued that the questions were fair and that Carrie had overreacted. Both sides dug in, ensuring the feud wouldn't die down quickly. Online, the reactions were explosive. Fans rallied behind Carrie with the hashtag #WeStandWithCarrie, while others accused her of being thin-skinned and unable to handle media scrutiny. Commentators debated whether Jenna had crossed a line or if Carrie had simply cracked under pressure. Entertainment blogs published play-by-play recaps of the storm-off, framing it as one of the most shocking live TV moments of the year. By the end of the day, both Carrie's team and NBC executives were in damage control mode. Carrie's representatives released a carefully worded statement, emphasizing her commitment to her fans and her music, but pointedly noting she expects respect in interviews. Jenna, meanwhile, addressed the controversy at the top of the following show, insisting she never meant to offend Carrie and expressing hope they could reconcile. But by then, the story had already gone viral, cementing Carrie Underwood's storm-off as the latest unforgettable clash on live daytime television. The morning after the storm-off, social media was ablaze with debates, hashtags, and countless reaction videos dissecting every second of the clash. Clips of Carrie pulling off her microphone and walking away played on repeat across Twitter and TikTok. Some slowed down with dramatic captions like, "The exact moment Carrie had enough." Fans defended her, saying she had every right to leave after being cornered, while others claimed she overreacted to standard questions. By midday today, with Jenna and Friends trended at #1, but not for the reasons producers wanted, it was being mocked, scrutinized, and replayed everywhere. Behind the scenes, NBC executives held frantic meetings. The show's ratings had spiked massively because of the drama, but the fallout threatened its reputation. Jenna reportedly felt humiliated and blindsided by Carrie's sudden eruption, while producers argued that Jenna had pushed too far with the too-perfect criticism. Carrie's team, meanwhile, issued subtle warnings to other outlets, letting it be known that if interviewers wanted access to her, they better tread carefully. The clash had morphed into an industry-wide cautionary tale. That afternoon, Jenna addressed the controversy directly on Instagram Live, visibly emotional. She told viewers, "I've always admired Carrie, and I didn't mean to upset her. I asked questions I thought people wanted answered, but maybe I should have been more sensitive." While her apology softened some critics, many fans still felt she hadn't taken full responsibility. Carrie herself stayed silent, refusing to comment publicly, a move that only fueled speculation and gossip about what she was really feeling behind the scenes. In Nashville, sources close to Carrie said she was deeply hurt by how the interview spiraled out of control. Friends claimed she had agreed to appear on Jenna's show as a favor to NBC, never expecting such personal and pointed questions. One insider said, "Carrie isn't afraid of honesty, but she won't tolerate disrespect. She felt ambushed." Though these whispers quickly made their way to the press, painting Jenna as the aggressor and cementing Carrie's reputation as a fiercely independent star, unwilling to be pushed around. Meanwhile, late-night hosts wasted no time poking fun at the drama. One comedian joked, "If you thought Carrie Underwood could only storm off stage in her music videos, think again." Memes popped up comparing her exit to a mic drop moment, with captions like "legend behavior." Ironically, what began as a PR disaster turned into a viral triumph for Carrie, as even those who criticized her secretly admired her boldness. The producers of Today with Jenna and Friends soon realized they had to do more than issue statements. They needed damage control on air. In the following episode, Jenna invited a panel of celebrity guests to discuss the pressures of fame and criticism, clearly inspired by what had just happened. Though she never mentioned Carrie by name, everyone watching knew the discussion was about her. Some praised Jenna for addressing it, while others accused her of doubling down rather than admitting fault. Carhow fans began organizing their own campaigns, with some flooding Jenna's social media demanding another apology, while others defended her as simply doing her job. The clash divided audiences almost evenly, turning it into a cultural talking point far beyond just weeks. Carrie's storm-off was referenced in conversations about celebrity treatment, female empowerment, and media sensationalism. It had struck a nerve that went beyond one interview. It became symbolic. By the time the dust began to settle, both women had been changed by the confrontation. Jenna grew more cautious in her interviews, treading lightly with guests, while Carrie doubled down on her independence, refusing to conform to expectations of how a star should act in media. In the end, what began as a heated clash turned into one of the most memorable live TV moments of the year, one that fans would replay, debate, and analyze for years to come, cementing Carrie's storm-off as a legendary act of defiance on national television.